guys, so today I have a swatch and review of the Essie Winter collection for 2014. This is called Jiggle Hi Jiggle Low. Yeah, as you can see, it's not the winteriest of winter collections, but I thought I'd review it for you guys anyway. So if you want to get into the review and the swatches, then keep watching. Okay, so the first color is called Tuck It in My Tux, and I laugh, like dirty mind laugh at that. I don't know why. This is a slightly pink toned white. And from looking at the bottle, it looks like it's more of like a jellyish curly finish, like it might be a little bit sheer. So here is one coat of Tuck It in My Tux. This is thin. It's a little bit watery thin. Like if I get it too thick, it might run towards the sides of my nail. You can see that it is sheer too, and it's a little bit patchy on the first coat. And if you hear any commotion outside, kitties are wrestling. I don't know if I hate this. Like, I don't know if the formula is bad or if I'm just not used to working with these kind of polishes, because it's been a while since I've worn anything really jelly-ish and sheer like this. So that is one coat of Tuck It in My Tux. I'm going to let that dry and obviously come back for a second coat because that looks terrible. Okay, so here is two coats of Tuck It in My Tux. Trying to go over it enough to even that application out. It gets pretty decently opaque on the second coat, but it's still uneven and it's still streaky, and the formula is still a little bit thin for me too. It's kind of watery. So that is two coats of Tuck It in My Tux. Obviously it's still streaky and patchy, so I am going to come back when this is dry for a third coat. Okay, so here is three coats of Tuck It in My Tux. That seems to cover quite a bit and eliminates a lot of the patchiness, but you know what? It's still there. It's a little bit harder to see on camera, but it's definitely still got that patchiness to it. I do like that even when it's dry, it has that like squishy jelly kind of look to it, but this doesn't turn out well. And I would like it to be, you know, one of those ones you can just put one coat on and it makes your nails look like really clean, but it's still kind of sheer, but that doesn't work because of how streaky and patchy it is. So there is three coats of Tuck It in My Tux. I'm going to stop there because I'm not going to do four coats, but it is a little, the formula leaves a bit to be desired. It would be a nice jelly if it wasn't so streaky and patchy. So I do like that it has that jelly finish, but you can kind of see some gaps, especially in my middle finger, after three coats. So I don't know how I feel about this one, but that is Tuck It in My Tux. The next polish is called Back in the Limo, and this is kind of a, I don't know, peachy colored jelly polish. I wanted to show you this. This over here is Essie's Accrued Interest. This came out quite a while ago. And then this is Back in the Limo. Now, just from looking at it in the bottle, it looks like Back in the Limo is more of a jelly, crelly kind of finish, and Accrued Interest is kind of a cream. It's kind of a sheer jelly-ish cream, but it's probably creamier than Back in the Limo, but they are very, very, very close in color, so I definitely don't think you need Back in the Limo if you already have Accrued Interest. So here is one coat of Back in the Limo. The formula in this one feels a lot like Tuck It in My Tux. It's thin, it's a little bit watery. I feel like if I wasn't careful, which, well, I guess I'm not really being that careful, that it would be running all over my nail. It does look like it's maybe a little bit less streaky and patchy than Tuck It in My Tux was, but that might also just be because this is a color that's a lot closer to my skin tone, so it's harder to see those streaks and patches. And you are going to start to see a bump right over here on my ring finger because I'm starting to get a little like, I don't know, where the nail starts to like peel up almost. It happens like almost every time I wear polish now. And if I remove a lot of polish in like at one time. So that is one coat of Back in the Limo. Obviously it is sheer and a little bit streaky, so I'm going to let that dry and I'm going to come back for a second coat. So here is 2 coats of Back in the Limo. I actually do really like this color. I wish it was not so streaky on one coat because I kind of like the way the one coat looks. It's one of those just make it look like you have really nice hands kind of colors. So this one is considerably more opaque on 2 coats, but it also looks like it's still got some streakiness and some issues to it. I just wish these weren't so patchy and streaky because they would look really nice even on one coat if they were just nice sheer colors. So that is 2 coats of Back in the Limo. I still have some bald spots and some patches, so I'm going to let that dry and then I'm going to come back for a 3rd coat. Okay, so here is 3 coats of Back in the Limo. That seems to cover decently. I have to work the polish quite a bit to make sure that the coat is even to try to cover up any of those streaks, and I'm still seeing some streaks and some patchiness or bald spots, light spots, whatever you want to call them. So that kind of sucks. So that is 3 coats of Back in the Limo. I do like that it's like very squishy and jelly-like, but it's also on 3 coats and I still have some bald spots. The formula is kind of watery. So, I mean, if you really love the color and you really want to get Essie, I would get Accrued Interest off of Amazon or something because it's going to be very, very similar in color and it's going to have a lot higher quality or a lot better formula. And Accrued Interest isn't even a fantastic formula, but it's going to be better than this one. So, yeah, that is Back in the Limo. The next one is Bump Up the Pumps, and this is a coral cream. So here is 1 coat of Bump Up the Pumps. This is super opaque. There's a fuzzy. So the formula on this one is really, really nice. It's not too thick, it's not too thin, really easy to work with, almost a 1-coater. I probably could have made it a 1-coater if I overworked it, but it's really, really close to a 1-coat polish. This is amazing. This is like kind of a relief after those last 2. Okay, so that is 1 coat of Bump Up the Pumps. It is almost opaque. I just have a few little slight streaky issues and I'm going to let that dry and come back and fix those with a 2nd coat. So here is 2 coats of Bump Up the Pumps. And that is fully opaque in 2 coats. I really think that if you applied thick coats, you could get away with 1. Because the 2nd coat doesn't change the color at all. It just fixes those very, very minor bald spots that I had. So there is 2 coats of Bump Up the Pumps. The next polish is Double Breasted Jacket, and this is a light kind of pinky red. It's a light red. It has a little bit of a pink tone to it. So here is 1 coat of Double Breasted Jacket. And upon close inspection, I do believe that we have a 1-coater on our hands. Yeah, there's no patches, there's no streaks. The formula on this is really good. So yeah, that's awesome. With moderately thick coats, this is a 1-coat polish. So that is 1 coat of Double Breasted Jacket. This is showing up more orange on camera. This definitely leans more red in real life. I mess with my camera settings and I can either have it so light that it shows it this orange or too dark to actually be able to see anything. So I'll have to play with that off camera later sometime, but for now this is what we have. But yeah, it's not that orange. This is double-breasted jacket, a beautiful one-coat cream. I'm really excited about that. The formula on this actually reminds me a lot of the formulas from the fall collection that were all really, really good. So that is double-breasted jacket. This is Jump in My Jumpsuit, and this is a darker red cream. And this is Dress to Kilt, and this is from the fall collection this year, and these are almost identical. Dress to Kilt is slightly darker, but not enough to justify both. So they literally followed, they have dupes from like the collections are back to back, and they duped the colors. So here is one coat of Jump in My Jumpsuit. The formula on this one is good. It's not going to be a one-coater. It is like nicely opaque, but you still get a little bit of patches, bald spots, just spots where you can see through the polish. It's really close though, but it's not quite a one-coater. The formula on this, like I said, is good. It's just slightly thinner than the last two. Not by much, but you can tell a little bit of a difference, especially putting them on back to back. So this is one coat of Jump in My Jumpsuit. I'm going to let that dry and come back for a second coat. Okay, so here is two coats of, which one is this? Here is two coats of Jump in My Jumpsuit. I totally forgot which one I had been working with. So you can see that the color deepens up a little bit on the second coat, and that it also makes it fully opaque. This has a nice formula on it too. Like I said, it's a little bit thinner than the other ones, but it's just as easy to work with. I think you would only notice the difference if you put them on back to back like I am right now. Okay, so there is two coats of Jump in My Jumpsuit. That is fully opaque, and yeah, this is a really nice red. I just wish that they hadn't duped a red that they put out in their last collection in this one, because I think that's kind of lame. So here is one coat of Jiggle Hi Jiggle Low. So this has a decent formula. I was kind of hoping it would be like one of those awesome, like totally opaque in one coat metallics, but not quite there. It's close though. It should be opaque in two coats. I was just kind of hoping for another one coater, mainly because one coaters make the filming and editing of these videos like really easy. The formula on this is good. It goes on, I mean, it's one of those ones, it's kind of hard to put a thick coat of this on. It goes on and it smooths out really well, but it's not so thin that it runs down to the edge of your nails either. So that is super, super sparkly. That is one coat of Jiggle Hi Jiggle Low. I'm going to let that dry and come back for a second coat. So here is two coats of Jiggle Hi Jiggle Low. Sorry if the cats are still chasing each other around and it's been like an hour. So that covers really well on the second coat. Again, this is like really, really easy to apply. Like it almost, I don't know how to describe this without sounding weird, but it almost feels like you don't have as much on your brush as you do with other polishes, so it just like spreads as like the perfect amount. I don't know. That's weird, but maybe it's just because it's thinner, but it's not like runny thin. It just feels like there's less, I don't know, less goes a longer way, not sure. But I do really like this. This is really pretty. This is initially the only polish I was going to get in the collection. Then I thought, no, I kind of want to do a video on it, and here's this deal on Amazon, get them all for like 20 bucks, so whatever. So that is two coats of Jiggle Hi Jiggle Low. That's gorgeous. I'm really excited about that. And that is the entire Essie Jiggle Hi Jiggle Low collection. I'm not really sure how I feel about it. There are two like dead-on dupes. I'm sure the other ones are dupes as well. I just didn't think of anything that I have in my collection that's a dupe for it. So that's a little annoying, and the colors are weird. They're not wintry colors for me, but some of the formulas are nice. So I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I will talk to you later. Bye.